Daredevil is back in full swing over on Disney Plus, with of course the first season of Daredevil Born Again being a fan favorite. Season 2 is currently in production, but why stop there? Because Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox, is saying that the fans should be demanding a Daredevil film because he wants to star in one. So let's talk about how this would actually be possible on a technical level, because hey, they're doing it with The Mandalorian. So yeah, once again, this comes at us from Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox, who was talking about what is going on with Daredevil, his hopes, dreams, aspirations with the character, and he was interviewed by SAG-AFTRA. Now, if you're not familiar with them, they are the people that are in charge of making sure that actors are getting a fair shake and, being paid for what they're doing, residuals and all that. They're the organization that's protecting the actors, so to speak. So in an interview with them, they asked him about the future of Daredevil. Of course, they try to really get something out of him, but they don't get much in relation to Spider-Man, the future, and all that. But when asked about the future of Daredevil and whether or not he could be starring in a Daredevil film, as it's been rumored, and yes, it has, he says that it's not up to him. But he says that it's down to the fans and that the fans could make it happen. So when they talk a little bit more about this, he suggests that fans become vocal about it and start demanding it in a respectful way. Now, the key here is, of course, respectful. Do you guys remember how we spent years trying to advocate for them to bring back Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio as Daredevil and Kingpin and bring it all back? And they did. And then even they learned that maybe a reboot wasn't going to work, so let's just go to what works. It was being respectful and not forceful. So I agree with what he's saying. If we want a Daredevil film, and he does as well, we should be asking and advocating for it in a respectful way. Now, on top of this, he also kind of teases the future of Daredevil, which that's not really for here. He's just teasing, the typical, hey, season 2 is going to be bigger and better and we're doing new things. But what else I find interesting here is the fact that he seems to understand that there is a want for Daredevil, but maybe not as big as some people think. And I brought up in the intro Mando and Grogu. And a lot of people think that this could be the same type of thing. And while I agree, let's be clear about this. Mando and Grogu as a movie is happening all because of Pedro Pascal. Because he is so recognizable now, and they locked him in at such a cheaper rate that they can afford to do it. Daredevil and Charlie Cox, I'm sorry to say, as much as I'm a big fan of both, are not on the level of Mando and Grogu. It's just not happening, especially on Pedro Pascal's level, where everybody wants him now in every project they're doing. But with having said that, I think a Daredevil film could work. And with the TV series budget being $50 million for 9 episodes, imagine an $80 million 2-hour film. They could really go all out and give us a grand finale. And I think that that's what we should push for. When Daredevil ends up wrapping it up, finish it off in a glorious fashion by giving us a film that just blows it all out and gives us a outstanding Daredevil send-off. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will. And if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.